disembark from our ship over there on the other side of this. I know. I'll get it when I go by. What's our hotel name?
Movenpick.
Okay. Oh.
Because I think canal cruise is a must in Amsterdam. That's the number one thing to do. It's for everybody available. You can just sit down, relax. If it's raining or if the sun is shining, you can choose outside, inside. You go over the canal ring. So that's why we are going today to walk in the old city center, because a canal ring, canal cruise is always going over the canal ring. So you will see that in the activity. You can book it with Viking, but then you are only with Viking people on the ship and you get a little bite to eat and a drink, I guess. It's much more expensive. You can also just walk to Central Station. There are about 4 or 5 companies offering canal cruises, and I always say just look at the time because they're 11, 20 minutes. If you don't want to wait, just this is one is going 5 past 12. This is 10 past 12. Take the earliest one, and they're all around 2 hours.
And the station
The station is the building with the
Yeah.
roof, but we're going there, so I'll point it out.
Thank you.
Everything. Where are you from? Because I'm from here.
Toronto, Canada.
Canada?
Palm Springs.
Swings.
Pennsylvania, Philadelphia.
Okay. Arkansas. Yep.
Wisconsin.
Yep.
Seattle, Washington.
Yep.
Pennsylvania. Las Vegas.
Have you been to the Netherlands before?
Yes. Our daughter lives here.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Okay. And the rest? Been here before? Through here. So I always start with a little bit of a geography lesson. This is the Netherlands. Maybe you've seen the pictures already on the ship or before you came here. The Netherlands is divided into 12 provinces. You are now in the green province, and in the big red part, that's Amsterdam. We have about 18 million inhabitants here in the Netherlands, and we have 24 million bicycles. And I have to warn you, those are your biggest enemies here in this city, bicycles. Not pickpockets or robbers or whatever, but bicycles or cyclists. So you will find out when you're walking the road, because they ignore all the rules. They think they own the road, and especially with tourists. If you're in doubt crossing, they look at you like, oh, you're stopping, I'm going. So sometimes when we cross, I do this, and they go like, and because we have the right of way on a pedestrian crossing, but they don't give us the right. And even though the crossing might be a green light for us, be careful because they go through that.
Can I take a picture?
Oh yes. And I don't want you to get hurt on the first or last days of the holiday.
And you're in. Thank you.
I'm colorful as well today. So the Netherlands, 12 provinces. The green part is North Holland, the orange part is South Holland. I don't know if anybody told you the difference between Holland and the Netherlands. No. Nope. Holland, the easiest one is Holland is the province. This is North Holland and South Holland. It used to be one big Holland, the western part, but economically, politically, they were getting too much power, too much money, too much everything comparing to the other provinces. So that's why they said split up in North and South in 1840. And each of them has their own capital. Haarlem is the capital of North Holland. Yeah, do you know something about Haarlem, New York? Named after this little town next to Amsterdam. The capital of South Holland is The Hague. That's our political city. And near The Hague, the king and queen live. So there's nothing political here in this city. Rotterdam, some of you have been there at Kinderdijk, a place with the mills, or you are going there, a place with beautiful old windmills. And Utrecht and the area between these big cities is the most densely populated area. So not much green, but if you go further south or east, then it's a lot not populated at all, a lot of villages and small. We have small big cities here, a few, but not that many. Amsterdam, 850,000 inhabitants, the biggest city in the Netherlands. So comparing to some of your cities, it's not that big, but our country is not that big because from north to south it's about 4 hours drive, and from east to west about 2.5-3 hours. So if some people say here it's far away, then we look like okay. Amsterdam is lying on some water. The ship is in the water, it's a river cruise ship, ocean cruiser. The ocean cruisers are going through a canal to the North Sea. They are going here, but the river cruise ships are going on a canal, the Amsterdam Rhine Canal. That's a canal that they dump to the river Rhine before you go into Germany and Belgium, whatever, where you're going. And this water here is now a lake, a freshwater lake, but it used to be a saltwater sea. So this is an old map. If you see the old and the new map next to each other, you see that the water here is called the Zuiderzee, the Southern Sea. So it was a saltwater sea. For Amsterdam, very easy to grow and to have trade within the country, within Europe, within the whole world, because they could sail out very easily. Only one of the disadvantages, of course, is flooding. If you live in the sea, maybe some of you live on the sea and you know, high tide, low tide. So once in a while the city flooded, and not only Amsterdam but all the cities around this sea. So they said we have to do something about it. They wanted to close off this sea. They wanted to do it in the 19th century, but it didn't work. They wanted to do it in 1916 because we had a big flood, and they said after that flood we have to do it now. It was the middle of World War I, so they couldn't do it because they didn't have enough funds to do it. So it lasted until 1932. Before they made a closure dam or a closure dike. We call it a dike. I think you call it a dam because there's water on both sides. This is the closure dike. It's a dike of 35 kilometers long, so about 28 miles long. And it's closing off the sea completely. Ships or sailing ships can go through, but not the big ships. And for us it's now very easy. If you live in North Holland, easy to go here, otherwise you had to drive all the way around. Only the thing that's changed is it used to be a saltwater sea and now it's a freshwater lake. Because the rivers from the south and the east are coming out on it, so it took a few years before it became freshwater. So no herring anymore here. If you want to taste herring here, then it's not Dutch or not coming from Dutch waters. It's coming from Scotland here, somewhere, Scandinavia. But the new herring just came out, so if you want to try Dutch sushi, you can do that. Don't ask me how it tastes. For me, it's too fishy. I think the people who went to Kinderdijk, the place with the mills, already heard everything about polders, reclaimed land. You see these brown parts, that's our newest province. That's handmade, and these people here who are living there, they're living on the bottom of the sea. So everything in this part is below sea level. Here it's about 3.5 meters below sea level. Kinderdijk, where you were 7.5 meters below sea level. But it's okay, we don't have to say just keep on drinking. Any questions so far? Yep. We're going to do a walking tour, and I don't know if they told you, but it's a one-way walk ending on Dam Square. And for most people, your rooms are not ready until 8 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's almost high season, so I don't think the rooms will be ready earlier. There's a lot of people checking out at 12, and then there's 3 rooms. So there's no point of going back to the hotel and sit here and wait. So it's nice weather. Walk around or have a drink at Dam Square, go to the bathroom somewhere there. I will give some tips to you on where to go.
How far is the walk from Dam Square to here?
If
Roughly.
you do it in a straight line, then it will be around 20 minutes maybe.
Okay.
If I walk fast in a straight line back. But we are going through the old center and we are going back.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know if you're a fan of public transport or taxis or Uber. They have Uber here. Taxis who are here, I think taxis here are quite expensive. So I always take public transport. I was born and raised here, so I have my bike here, but I don't live here anymore, so I don't have a bike anymore. So or I walk or I take public transport. That's the tram system, because the buses mostly go to the villages outside Amsterdam, but the trams are going here and in the city center. So opposite the fast driving, there is a tram stop. So if you don't want to walk anymore, you don't want to take a taxi, you can take the tram. Tram number 26 leaves from Central Station, the building with the ground floor. It's only one stop. There's the tram. You see it's white with blue. In the front it says number 26. I cannot read it, but only one stop with the 26. You don't have to buy tickets, but if you have a credit card, which is a contactless credit card, hold it against machines and then pay. Because in the tram, on the side of the doors, they have machines. You just have to hold your credit card against it. It will say bleep. Bleep means check in. Keep the credit card in your hand, because if you go out, you have to check out again. If you forget that, you will be charged the whole amount during the day. That's €4. It happened to me once, that's why I know. And also, if you have one credit card as a couple, be careful, because this happened to me as well. We went in with a group. A gentleman checked himself in, checked his wife in. We sat down and we wanted to go out, and he wanted to check out. And he said, no, I'm checking in again. I said, what did you do? He said, I checked in for myself and I checked in for my wife. I said, you checked in for you and you checked out for you. So they both had a free ride. But, oh well, there's nobody checking up in the tram, so it's okay. But you can use your credit card, your own credit card, and it has to be contactless. If you don't want to use your credit card, you can also buy a ticket. At the back of the tram there's a little office, there's somebody sitting. You can buy a 1 hour ticket, like a single journey for €3.40, or you can buy a 24-hour card for €9. So it's up to you. It's a lot cheaper to use your credit card, because then it only charges the amount you're traveling. So from Central Station to here, it's not even €1, I think.
So you just get on 26, it just goes back and forth
Yeah,
between
it goes further, but you have to just, so you can, if you don't want to walk there, you can just cross the street and you wait for the tram, one stop to Central Station. But yeah, it's walkable, but if you've been walking the whole day already, I can imagine sometimes it's like it's good for us. Let's start walking. Like I said, be careful when crossing. If you have any questions during the tour, please do ask. So we're going to take a little bit of a shortcut into the city center. So it's not up there where the people are walking, but down here. We have to go down the stairs over here. Be careful for these stairs, because it's a little bit of an optical illusion if you stand on them. Take your time, we're not in a rush. It's your holiday and I have all day. So you see all new buildings here. This used to be all water. They all made new offices, or houses, or hotels. So hold the railing and be careful. A little bit slow. book canal cruise with Viking, then they'll probably pick you up here.
Is your speaker on?
Sorry?
Your speaker on?
Yes. Are you on the right channel? 8? Is everybody
You're
hearing
good.
me?
You are breaking up though.
Oh, none on mine.
Not on yours?
Sometimes you might have to push that in deeper. Might be that.
Plug in and plug out. And,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm breaking up in town. Please let me know, because if I then switch channels or I turn it off and on, then it sometimes works again. So just let me know if it's not working anymore. Because there are many guides walking around, and some might have the same channel as me. So then I'm going to switch to over 40 or something.
Where do you live now?
I live now in Hoorn. Hoorn is a city about 30 kilometers north from here. So normally it's only half an hour to get here with train or with the car. But in rush hour it takes double. Because Hoorn is on the other side of the water, a little bit further. And you have to go over a bridge or through a tunnel. And you know what happens in rush hour if you have to go over a bridge or a tunnel. So the other side of this water, we call that Amsterdam North. In the old days, people said Amsterdam North doesn't really belong to Amsterdam because it's the other side of the water. Now it does. It's becoming more and more popular for living because it's a little bit more cheap than here in the city center.
So what's an average apartment cost if you live in town?
To buy or to rent?
Well, let's say buy.
If you want to buy an apartment here, depending on the location, of course, but
Kind of average.
if it's in the city center with a nice view, small apartment, 500,000 and up. I once compared the prices where I live now and here. Here, the square meter, if you want to buy something, I don't know, square feet, it's between 10,000 and 12,000 euros. And where I live now, it's between 4,000 and 6,000 euros. Be careful as a bike if we move all the way to one side. So the housing prices, if you go just outside Amsterdam, are a lot cheaper than here. I grew up here in Amsterdam, but find a job, then you really don't want to live here anymore. I used to work at the airport, Schiphol Airport. Some of you have been there, some of you are going there. It's busy, it's noisy. And Amsterdam was busy and noisy, and I was getting older, so it was time to move out. You will see a lot of young people on bikes here, because we have two big universities here. So I told you the other side is Amsterdam North. You see they're building all these big flats. It's all apartments. The building with the white thing sticking out the other side with the 3 crosses, with the funny shaped roof. You see it over there, behind the white. That's the Amsterdam Tower. On the top is the restaurant. The restaurant is slowly turning around, and on top you have a viewpoint, and on top there's also a swing. The swing is going over the edge and back. I don't know if there are people, any daredevils here who want to go over the edge and back. I haven't done it because I'm not so brave. But the view is very nice over there. But we have more places where you have a nice view without being up there. The way to get there, you see in the water there a white and little blue little boat. Those are ferries. The ferries across the water are for free for cyclists and pedestrians. They're not for cars. Cars have to go over the bridge or the tunnel. So the tunnels are not for pedestrians and not for cyclists. Only on some special days sometimes. So the most of the pedestrians and cyclists, they go over with these ferries. And here are passing a lot of cargo ships as well. They are the same as you, going on the Amsterdam Rhine Canal to the Rhine, to Germany, to everywhere, and they're going out here normally on the North Sea Canal to the North Sea, and then more to England, or I don't know where they're going. But Rotterdam has the biggest harbour. Amsterdam has a big harbour as well. So I don't know. Your ship was here in the neighbourhood. Near Central Station, yeah. Because sometimes it's all the way in the west part of Amsterdam, near one of the tunnels, and it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to come here. So that's not a nice location. But if you're here or behind here or here, it's okay. Then you can walk into town. So this is Amsterdam North Central Station. We are going underneath here. It looks a little bit like a dodgy area with all the graffiti and everything. I wouldn't walk here at night. Because above here is the road and the railroad track. A few days ago it was very quiet on the railroad track because we had train strikes.
Oh.
They were on strike for higher wages. And I think they came to an agreement, so no strikes anymore.
Is there a big 15-kilometer race or something going on this weekend, you know? Someone said they were busy because of this race that they were having.
What's this weekend? This weekend they are celebrating on the road, on the main road, the highway.
Oh.
They're celebrating the 750th birthday of Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
So they are closing the highway
Okay.
through Amsterdam. So if you have to be here in the weekend in Amsterdam, no problem. Yeah, that's in the Hague. So that's why a lot of the roads are closed. In my town we have the Ironman, so all the roads are closed in my town. And it's going to be about 30 degrees, so over 80, 85, and for here that's very hot. We're not used to it. No. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting.
So she's coming in today.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So I see another group already standing there, so we're going to skip that and I will be standing a little bit there. We are going over this bridge to the right, only we have to stay on the right hand side. I see people walking on the left, but be careful because left is for bicycles, right is for pedestrians. And sometimes these Amsterdam people in bikes are not very nice to you. To say it neatly. Where I live, it's a lot smaller. People will ring the bell and they will say, excuse me, if they want to pass. Here, they sometimes ring the bell or they just shout at you like, go out of my way. If you'd like to have a drink or lunch close by, this is an outdoor place. Normally in the afternoon, quite busy. A lot of people come there with their boat and they're going to enjoy a drink. You can see here the tables outside. It's busy. So back in the old days, this was all water. But this is all artificial made, all these islands.
Yeah.
If you look at the two concrete pillars behind you, that's a tunnel. The tunnel is going underneath the water here, and that's underneath the building that you see on your left hand side. We call it a signature. So the building is, yes, the building is is a science museum.
Okay.
Science museum for children from 3 till 90 years old.
Yeah.
I think we went in there.
Yeah, that was fantastic in there.
And it's funny because normally when you go to a museum, you children, you can only look with your eyes and cannot touch with your hands.
Mm-hmm.
But here you have to touch with
Yes.
your hands and fingers. Otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah.
They all have these tests and these nice things around here. So you have to push buttons and do active things. And it all has to do with science. On top of the building is a restaurant. So if you're from the inside, you can go with an elevator up. But if you're from the outside, from the street up front, you can just walk up. But it's quite steep. So we are going to walk to city center, which you see straight ahead from you, walking along the other side. And on your right hand side here you see a lot of office buildings and apartments. These are quite expensive apartments because they're new and they have solar panels, they have heat pumps, I don't know, it's all modern things. We probably have air conditioning because all the houses here in the Netherlands, the old houses, we don't have air conditioning. But the last couple of years, the summers are getting hotter and the winters are getting wetter. So all the houses that they're building now, they build them with air conditioning. And they want to get rid of the gas because we were depending on gas, Russian gas. And we don't want that.
Yeah.
So a lot of houses are being built with heat pumps. We have a lot of solar panels. We have a lot of wind energy in some places in the Netherlands. Only the problem with solar panels is that it was subsidized. I don't know if it's the same in your country.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have solar panels now. And if they have too much energy, they can give it back to the grid. But because so many people have solar panels and too much energy, the grid says from next year you have to start paying if you want to give it back.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people are taking down their solar panels, and you can't share with neighbors because I'm not allowed to put solar panels up because my house is monumental. So no, it's green energy, and then you're punished because you have green energy.
Yeah.
It's like,
I didn't know that.
I don't know if they're going to the museum or if they're going into town.
But I guess if you had batteries, you could put the solar energy.
Yeah, if you have batteries, but they are quite expensive to have a battery.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I know one of the tulip farms are always going to in April. They have a big farm and she has a lot of solar panels and she bought a few big batteries. She said, so I can store my electricity and I can use it in other times.
Get off the grid if you can, yeah.
We are going straight ahead, but be careful for children, bicycles. So you see these canal boat tours everywhere around. They're all in the water up front, Central Station. And you can make your choice. Some of these boats, they have a table in front of you, some don't. I think Lovers, that's a company, completely orange. They are filling up their boats pretty much, so you don't have a lot of space, but they are a little bit cheaper. So it's all minor differences. You can also take a small boat, a completely open boat. That's nice, but it's more expensive. Everything has its price.
No, you got to watch your heads when you go in there if you're tall.
So you saw this building, this office building, the right one side is Booking.com. Everybody probably knows it. This is an apartment building, the conservatory and the library of Amsterdam. So there's all new buildings, so they put working and living and a few shops, they put it all together here. And you see all these offices and all these library and things. Everybody is going to work on their right. So they have here the green sign cleaning with a bicycle and underground parking garage for bicycles. Because at first everybody was parking their bike here on the square. And it was enormous, it was a mess because everybody just put it somewhere like you see over here. And then they said we're going to have an underground parking garage. Same at Central Station. We used to have a big parking place for bicycles that went up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember?
Well, Nijmegen has that.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
they built an underground parking garage underneath Central Station for 11,000 bicycles.
Wow.
So it's like a parking garage. If you go in, you see A, B, road, and then you have to remember exactly where you parked it.
Do you have to pay? Do they have to pay?
No, it's free.
Oh.
It says gratis installing. Gratis is free. Especially when you work here, you have to be here. And they don't want you to park in the street. You will see a little bit further, you see white lines, and you have to park within these white lines. So last time I was walking there with a group, local authority people, they were looking like, oh, you're not completely in within the lines, so you get a ticket, or not a fine, but a warning. So if you don't take your bike away within, I don't know, 24 hours or a week, then we will take your bike away, take it, put it somewhere, and you can collect it by paying some money. Also, what you see here, you see a lot of garbage bins, and they are open. Why are they open? Sometimes, like these bins.
Oh.
Because since the last, I think, 2 years, if you deliver plastic bottles and cans back to the supermarket, you get money for it. So a lot of homeless people, what they do is they open up garbage bins. They are looking at the plastic bottles and things. They throw everything out, only they don't throw it back in.
So they keep it open now.
Yeah, so
Yes.
sometimes the local authority said, we'll just put it open. That's also Yvonne. My name is Yvonne. Not everybody is called Yvonne, but she lives at the same place where I live. And we have the same name, so very funny. So this is the city map. Maybe some people of you have seen it already. This red part is where we are now. And you see the water over there where the ships are. This is your hotel here.
Okay.
We are going to go into the old town here. You see the canal ring is half circling the city. That's what you're going to see when you do a canal cruise. And I don't know if you're going to any museums or Van Gogh Rijksmuseum. That's even further. That's the Museum of Water here. And this is the Rijksmuseum, and this is the Van Gogh Museum and the Modern Art Museum. So it's a big square, and it's, although if you're not going to a museum, it's very nice to go there and sit on the square, sit on one of the terraces, and enjoy people watching and drink.
Where's Aunt Frank?
And Frank is
Oh, it's
over
way up
here.
there. Okay. Yeah.
There's a church here, the Western Church. I don't know if you've read the diary, but she's talking about the Western Church because her house was next to it. And it's walking distance from where we end the tour now. I don't know, do you have tickets?
Yeah.
So did you get up about half a year ago? And
I heard about that.
6 weeks in the middle of the
3 a.m.
night, and then
3 a.m.
yeah. Because it's always crowded. It's one of the number one things to visit, and a few years ago they still had tickets in the morning at 9 o'clock. They gave about 150 tickets free for the same day, but now it's only online. So I don't know what they're doing. But if I talk about the old town, it's Middle Ages. So the city was officially started at 1275 when they put a dam in the river the Amstel. This is the river the Amstel coming from here. It's flowing here. It used to flow all the way here where Central Station is, going back in the water. But because of traffic they filled everything in, so it's all roads now. But in 1275 they built a dam in the river the Amstel that became Amstel Dam. There are a lot of cities with dam in it. And it's not that we like swearing, dam, city, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Volendam, Edam, all these damn cities. But it all has to do with some water, a canal, a river, where they put a dam in the water. And so this is all 13th century, 14th century. Slowly they started to make another round around it. 16th century, 17th century, the canal ring, and even later, 19th century, finally over here. And they keep on going further south and east, and because we have a housing shortage, like everywhere probably, and so they keep on building.
So what canal boat would you recommend? I see there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Each take.
They all take the same route because on one canal, the middle one, canal boats are not allowed, so they have to take a certain route.
Oh, okay. So they're all
So
the
they
same.
all do the same thing. About 1 hour, they bring you back to the same spot.
Okay.
So you can pick canal boats up here at Museum Square, but for you the easiest is in the water here in front of Central Station.
That's back.
So I will
over there.
point them out. Now I will point it out
that's
over
right.
there. You know, if my So if you look back, behind Nemo, behind the sinking ship, you see a beautiful old building. That's the Maritime Museum.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have a lot of museums. It depends where your interest lies. The Maritime Museum shows you 300 years of maritime history. We've been sailing already since the 15th century, so they tell you the whole story and the whole history from that all. You can also visit a replica of an East Indies Company ship that lies in front of it.
We did that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
good.
great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really good.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Loved it.
Right.
Talk about the slave trade and everything.
Yeah. So they're talking about the first trade we have was within Europe. Then we had the trade because the soil here was very salty because of the sea, so they couldn't grow any grain. So what did they do? They took ships to Germany, to Poland, where they had grain, and from here they took cheese and herring. From France they took wine, and from Portugal they took salt. And they had a big trade going over to the East Sea countries and back. And the funny thing there was that they had to pay tax when they sailed via Denmark in the Sond. And the tax was measured upon the deck of the ship, not the amount of cargo anybody had. And then we had a clever gentleman. He said, I'm going to invent a new ship. Mr. Liorna invented the flute ship with a smaller deck but a wider belly. More freight, but less taxes. And I don't know if you know Dutch people a little bit.
Frugal.
Going Dutch treat.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't want to spend money on anything. If there's something for free, I think the Dutch are first in line. So there are a few shops here, bars, restaurants, coffee places. If you go out of your hotel and you go left, don't do that because it's all offices. There are no restaurants there. There's only one lunch place and that's it. So if you want to go out for dinner, go or in the hotel or just go into town here. At the back of Central Station, they have a lot of restaurants. You can make your choice. They are open until late. This Chinese boat, this is a restaurant, a floating restaurant that came here in the 80s. We have a big Asian community here in Amsterdam, a big Chinese community who came here in the 20s for work. And all these people, they have or own a restaurant or a shop and this is a big restaurant. If you're with a big group, it's nice. If you're with the two of you, it's not so nice. It's such a big restaurant. authorities, if they're coming, they will take it away. Sometimes you see bikes with blue tires, a blue front tire, like here and there. Those are swap bikes, like a leased bike. You pay a monthly fee to the company and you get a bicycle. It's a second hand mostly. Or you can ask an e-bike, because I see one there that's an e-bike. Then you pay more, so you pay a monthly fee. If your bike is broken, then you can just let it fix for free because you pay your monthly fee. If it's stolen, you get another bike. So a lot of people do that here because they don't want to buy their own bikes. And you will see when we're walking in the streets, all these bikes have a back lock on the back wheel. But when I lived here in the 80s, and a lot of bikes were stolen, if you just lift up the back, because it's only the back wheel that's locked, you can just walk away with the bike. And what they did, they parked a big truck and they said, oh, this is a nice bike, put it in the truck, nice bike, put it in the truck. And now you see a lot of bikes have an extra chain. They put it around a pole or a fence or something, steel. So it's a little bit more effort to steal a bike. Or you will see along the canals that people attach it to the bridge. If you don't attach it to the bridge, it might end up in the canal. But with these swap bikes, you see, they don't really care. And I'm guessing like, yeah, it's, you rent a thing like that, or it's like a leased car. So.
Yeah.
Straight ahead from here, on the right hand side, you see the DoubleTree Hilton. If you want a drink with a view, go to the top floor. And an outside cafe. You can have lunch or drink there with a very beautiful view. They have glass from top to bottom, and if you have a window seat, then you can see all over this old Amsterdam with the churches and everything. It's really beautiful. First time I was there, it looked like a picture painting, like with these clouds and then the little houses. And it's close by to your What's that building again? This is the shipping house with the flags. That's now a hotel. 4-star hotel, but it used to be the shipping house. Like in the 1920s, 30s, they got these big steamships sailing to the USA, Canada, Australia. 6 shipping companies, they merged and they went into this building. In this building you could buy tickets, there are waiting rooms, because these big ships were in the water here, because all these buildings were not here yet. So the big ships were waiting. Still, it's a monumental building. So it's a hotel, but still the waiting rooms are there, the ticket offices are there. And everything, every detail in this building, it has to do with shipping or with the sea. So you'll see fish, you'll see ships and masts and everything. So if you're a ship lover, then and you go in, you see all the decorations that have to do with the sea. So you see a big church sticking out there. The St. Nicholas Church. It's a Catholic church, St. Nicholas. But it's not really old for me, because it's built in around 1860, and we have a lot of older buildings here in Amsterdam.
Was Amsterdam bombed during the Second World War? Like, is there any restoration needed?
No, the question is if Amsterdam was bombed during the Second World War. No,
Okay.
no bombings. One bomb dropped on the other side accidentally. They were dropping a bomb. They're supposed to be dropping the bombs in the water,
Oh.
but it missed the water. They didn't have the precise bombs that they have nowadays. So this is one of the, on the left here, you see one of the open boats. Which you can also do it now too. So much more fun as well. Like a normal canal cruise boat will cost 10-15 euros. This will be 20. But they have a great they don't have umbrellas lately because the sun is too hot here. You have to wear a hat or something.
Looks like those buildings are tilting.
Oh yes, some of them are.
Yeah.
I will explain when we're walking on the canals. It's better to see then. Straight ahead from us on the right-hand side, that's Central Station. About 300,000 people go through every day. So you can imagine when they were on strike, it was so
Shit.
nice and quiet.
Yeah.
And some people came there because they didn't know there was a strike. And in front of the waters of Central Station, here on the right, there are all the boats in the water, canal boats. And you can buy tickets on the spot, you can pay with a credit card. So it's really easy. Now with all these bicycles, everybody is cycling, especially cycling to school because we don't have a system of school buses. We learn cycling when we're very young. We start with the bikes without the pedals, so go on the ground like that. Then you have the little bikes with the side wheels. When you get bigger, you have to learn cycling because you have to cycle to your elementary school, which is close by. We have bicycle paths, so it's quite safe. And on elementary school, when you're 8-9 years old, you have to do a traffic exam on your bike. You get a number on your back. You have to cycle a certain route, and parents and teachers are on each corner to see if you stop for the red light, if you put out your hand when you turn a corner and everything. And every child wants their certificate, so they want to have good points. So they follow all the rules. But when these children turn 14, 15, 16 and older, they seem to forget all these rules. And they do what they are doing now here. Ignore all the rules because if one person is ignoring the rules, they can do that. So it's still green. If it's red, please stop always on the other side.
Really nice restaurant. White building right across the river. Yes, yes.
Lucky, yes. Wait. Lucky is famous for its steaks.
Oh, it's
If
great.
you
Great
so
food.
people have been here. There is a little white wooden building in front of Central Station in the water, and that's a restaurant, and it's famous for its steaks. So if you're a steak lover, yeah, and it's called Loetje, Loetje.
It's down that way.
It's down that way and then in the water. You can't miss it. It's a beautiful old building from wood.
We eat in there, pancakes and
Yeah.
Loetja.
You're right.
Loetje.
Yvonne, how do people identify their bikes? Is there a certain number on the bike? I mean, when you go to get your bike at the end of the day,
You know where.
you know where you left it?
Yeah.
So when the police,
Yeah, go past something.
didn't took it. How does the police know if you ever paid your parking
They
ticket?
always got run over.
Anybody push the button?
There we go.
Yeah, most people know how their bike looks, what their bike looks like. So if it's been taken by the police, then they know the brand, they know the color, and they know what it looks like. If they have something on it, you see all kinds of different bikes, so you always might be the same. When you have a big group there.
Yeah,
Over here and then I go back because it's sometimes a little bit too busy going this way, but I wanted to show you this tower and the view here on this canal. Because on this canal there used to be the city wall. You used to go all the way along here. At a certain point, this little tower here was a defense tower. Wow. It's from 1478, so that's quite old compared to the other church, 1960. You don't have to remember all these dates, but then you know a little bit roughly when they were made. And it's now a cafe, it says pancakes and more, and it says Café de Schrijerstoren. Schrijerstoren, Schrijen is crying or sharp angle, and toren is tower. So there are two explanations about this tower, why it's called this. Schrijen is sharp angle. The city wall used to be here and here, so it was the sharp angle in the city wall. I like the other story better because crying, it has to do that all the big ships were lying in the water here, sailing to the East Indies, West Indies, everywhere over the world. And the ladies were saying goodbye to their husbands because they didn't know if they would ever see them again. Because these ships, they went for 3 months, for half a year, for quite a long period they were away. There were a lot of shipwrecks. Yeah. There were a lot of shipwrecks, there were a lot of diseases. So people really didn't know if they would come back, yes or no. So that's this tower. It's now a cafe, really nice. You can sit outside, inside. If you go inside, in the wintertime it's always very warm inside. In the summertime when it's hot outside it's very cool because it has these thick walls. And there are spiral stairs going down to the bathroom. It's not that the sewer ends in the canal, not anymore. It used to be like that. But still the bathroom of a lot of houses is in the back or downstairs.
Some mistakes, you can't ride a bike unless you wear a helmet.
Yeah.
Hardly anybody wears a helmet.
No, it's not mandatory to wear a helmet. Only when your bike is going faster than 25 kilometers an hour. These e-bikes, some of them are upgraded.
So they don't.
At the moment, the government, they are talking about wearing helmets for e-bikes only. Because we have these pet bikes, I don't know if you know them, the bikes with the thick wheels, and they are electric, and there's a lot of young people sitting on them, 12 years old. They don't see any danger.
Right.
So a lot of brain surgeons are pleading the government to make at least helmets mandatory for these e-bikes, because they buy them in China. And they are upgraded, so they go, I don't know, 30,
Super
40,
fast.
yeah, super fast. And children, they don't see danger, they don't follow rules, they just go. And they are with the two of them over there, and it's like, yeah. And if you ask people themselves, they say, oh no, my hair. I say, yeah, what about your brains? I know. But children don't care. So if I cycle here, I don't wear a helmet, but if I go south, to the south of the Netherlands, we have a little bit of hills. And if you go downhill, you go really fast.
Right.
And that's dangerous. Because one mistake and you're somewhere, I don't know where.
In the house.
So on this building, next to the door, you see there a little bit of greenish plaque on the wall. And on this plaque, it's telling about Mr. Henry Hudson, the British skipper who was sailing for the Dutch East India Company. You see these people now making pictures of it. He was sailing for the Dutch East India Company and he was looking for another route to the East Indies, and they wanted to go via the North America. So he stumbled on this river, this water, and he went in and he thought it was a passage through, but the water got shallower and shallower, and That's now known as to Albany. Yeah, that's now known as the Hudson River. So he couldn't go any further, but he went back. And they made this settlement there, the New Netherlands, and they also made a nice settlement to Amsterdam. And unfortunately, they sold it to the British. It's now here. Such a shame. Otherwise, they might have spoken Dutch there. Still, you have a lot of names there. Dutch names: Harlem, Brooklyn, Wall Street, Broadway. All these names come from Dutch names. And if you look at the map of Manhattan, it's all these streets going like this. And the big example was the Beemster Polder. It used to be a lake, and they pumped out the water here in the 17th century. They filled in these roads like this, and they took that as an example for Manhattan to make the same kind of pattern of streets. Also very funny to them. So we go a little bit more this way. On your right hand side there are restaurants, shops, and they will sell water as well. Buy some water now.
And then you can see that some people, just
So we are going to take the more quiet room. I don't want to go where everybody goes. Better view on the canal houses.
So there's water up here we can get. I should have bought
And this is a little shop here on the right, to the corner.
Oh, okay.
Buy some water on the right.
Oh, okay, good.
Or a Coke or whatever. It's open. You can buy cold water, warm water. It's open. Oh yeah, I can imagine. There will be more shops coming, so if you think, no, I don't want any water, just yet, but maybe later.
इसके ऊपर देगा ना आपको साइकिल वाला आपके ऊपर केस हो जाएगा
In Amsterdam, we're only allowed to walk with a maximum of 15 people. The schools have a lot of holidays. Starting, of course, with Christmas in January. Then they have a holiday in February, and then everybody goes skiing. Then they have a holiday in May, 2 weeks. And then the summer holiday starts in July, August. Then they have a holiday in October. And then Christmas again.
But they don't start school till age 8.
You start when you're 5 years old, and then up to elementary school until 12, 11, 12, and then you go to high school. And after high school, depending which grade you have, depending if you did 4 years or 6 years, 6 years you go to university, 4 years you go to lower or middle class education. So we have, after high school, we have different levels. Amsterdam has everything. Where I live now, we only have middle class education after high school, and if you want to go for university or higher education, you have to go to Amsterdam. The bigger cities only have schools for higher. Everybody okay with water? Yep. Please, we want to look at the local authorities, they don't come every day, but they should do here. They are taking the garbage bags and then they empty them. I've seen when they put out bags, the big birds are coming, and if there's food in there, they pick it up and then a little wind. Yeah. So it's not only homeless people who are. So this is a very nice, quiet we call them Amsterdammetjes. They are walk to prevent cars from parking here. Parking a car here in Amsterdam is very expensive. It's about €8 an hour. If you live here and you own a car and you need it for work, then you can ask for a permit, but it costs about €200 to €300 a month. You don't have a specific spot, so you pay for a parking permit, but every night when you come back from work, you have to drive around here to see if there's a parking spot.
Do people park off somewhere?
Yeah, so I park near in a parking garage near your hotel underneath, and if you do it online, you pay less than parking in the streets. Or you can park on the edges of town and then go in town with public transport, and then you have cheaper paying as well.
So these are all upstairs apartments?
Yeah, so if you closely look sometimes at the bells, you see 3 or 4 bells. These houses used to belong to people, to one family, the whole house. But nowadays, you see more bells on the side. And like this door is belonging to the house. You see 17HS, it means house. That's the ground floor. This is number 17 as well. You see 2 bells. And it says the car, be careful. The top bell is the 2nd floor. And the other bell it says 3rd floor. So for the other floors there are other bells. And this is, if you open the door, is a very small steep stairs going up to the other floors.
Get this shit up there.
Now, in talking about small steep stairs, if you look at these houses, they all have these hoisting beams with hooks sticking out.
It's rather cool for furniture.
Yeah, because it's already since the old days. When people owned their whole house, they lived on the main floor, not on the basement, but the main floor a little bit higher. That's why you see steps in front. And all the goods that they had, they were stored on the other floors. So they had to hoist up the goods. And they needed a rope and a pulley and some strong men, because it was all done by hand, lifting it up. And that brings me to the question why houses are leaning. Because in the old days they didn't have these big pieces of glass. It was all small pieces of glass. They couldn't make the big pieces yet. Glass was very expensive. So one of the reasons why a house is built this way is on purpose. If it's built forward with a hoisting beam and you hoist things up, you don't want to hit the glass of the main floor. So that's one of the reasons. I will point out a house that used to have these small glass all around, and the basement was mostly used as a kitchen or staff entrance for a house if they had staff, because there were a lot of floodings. That's why people lived on higher than street level, so the basement flooded, and if people lived a little bit higher, then their beautiful front room wasn't touched by any water. And of course, all the houses here in Amsterdam are built on wooden pilings, 11 million wooden pilings. And this wood has to stay in contact with water. So the groundwater level is high here, because if the groundwater level drops, wood getting in contact with oxygen, it starts rotting. And then you have a problem. You will see a lot of these problem houses in Amsterdam. We call them dancing houses. They're going sideways. So if you see a house leaning forward, it's built that way, and if you see a house leaning sideways, Houston, we have a problem. Because that has to do with the foundation. And you see sometimes the amount of mailboxes a house has. And if you look closely at mailboxes, you see sometimes stickers. Stickers with nay, nay. No, no. Nay means no. No unaddressed mail in my mailbox, please. No junk mail. Yes. Saves a lot of paper, saves a lot of trees. It's electric, so you don't hear them coming in.
Mom, you don't have any additional receivers, do you? This one only works when I'm standing by you.
Oh, okay. Is the battery low? I have battery. No. And if you turn it off and on again?
Yep. Or
Tried
we even
it?
we traded, and it's just
And it's
very
not the earpiece, it's the thing?
yeah.
Oh.
So, but if I'm right
Yeah,
by you, I can
okay.
hear.
So nowadays they even rent out basements as well, or they sell them. Once there was a basement to be sold for 250,000 euros, and you only had like the light coming in from here, and at the back there was one bedroom, and the light coming in from the backyard, and that's it.
They would get to their units by going down these stairs.
Normally, yes.
Yeah.
So here it belongs to this house, but sometimes they have their own entrance. And it's always too nice to look inside of these houses. People don't intend to have curtains here, so they don't have anything to hide. And then they sometimes complain that people look in their houses. Yeah, put a curtain on that if you don't like it. This canal used to be a place where boats were fixed and boats were stored in the winter time, because this was out of the city wall, so it was really a working place. Now you see a few houseboats here. You see a house ark, that's the one with the flat roof, and you see really a boat. That's a canal boat or a houseboat where people live. In the 50s we had a lot of canal boats or houseboats, and it was considered poor life if you lived on them. But you know what happens in later years if something is a poor area, a poor life. Later it becomes very popular. And now it's very popular to live on a houseboat.
What do they pay? They pay taxes?
They pay
like
tax
this?
same
Yeah.
as a house because
Okay.
it's measured upon the square meters you have. They said since the 80s most of them are attached to the sewer. But if you have to take them away, the ships, I don't know if they can still sail, but at least it is a ship. The other things, if they have to go away, you have to tow them away, tow them out. But in winter time, if it's freezing, it's very nice. You can just stuck up your houseboat in ice skate.
Ice skates?
Yeah.
And in the summertime, you can jump in and swim. So I hear you like swimming in here. They say it's okay, or at least the Amstel River is okay, because once a year we have a swimming contest in the Amstel River. And it's for charity, for ALS, for the disease. And even our queen has swum in this thing with a wetsuit on, but she survived. She didn't get ill. So.
Is it still Queen Maxima?
Yeah, Queen Maxima and King Willem Alexander. I don't know if I have a picture here. Our royal family doesn't do a lot political-wise. It's more. Oh yeah, here. This is our king and queen. She's from Argentina.
It's pretty.
And he is from Orange, related to once William of Orange.
Oh, that's right. That's why they wear orange to colors. I remember hearing that when I went to
Yeah.
Everybody
So
was
the
like,
color
why are they
orange
wearing
that you
orange?
always see on sporting events with King's Day. He's parking. Oh, it's all relating to Mr. William of Orange. He was the leader of the protest in the 80 years of war we had in the 16th and 17th century. That was a war about religion. because Philip II was ruling the Netherlands. He wanted everybody here to be Catholic. We have the old church in the old city, and that used to be the St. Nicholas Church. We're going right.
First, I was reading the red light district.
Yeah.
Around here.
Yeah.
Are you
Well,
ready?
everybody's got
I'm
to
not
go to
allowed
one.
to walk in the red light district, but I'll be walking on the edge.
Well, one of the magazines was telling me about this.
Yeah. But that's the oldest, the red light district is the oldest part
Oh.
of the city, so but at least I can point it out to you. This William of Orange, he was the leader of the protest against Philip II Catholic. So he was a Protestant, and he wanted freedom of religion. But it turned out he was the leader of the Protestant religion, and after 10 years of war, Amsterdam had the Reformation and became completely Protestant. Catholic churches were not allowed. So that's why the St. Nicholas Church that I pointed out was built in 1860, because for 300 years it was not allowed to be Catholic in the area.
Now,
Now you have everything here. We have mosques, we have Lutherans, we have Dutch Reformed, we have Catholic, we have Buddhist temples, we have Portuguese or the Jewish synagogue. But we have 170 different nationalities living here in Amsterdam.
Wow.
And they all bring their own culture, food, religion, everything. Yeah, some nice, very little restaurants here. These side alleys. And we're coming here to Chinatown, so you will see more Chinese restaurants and Chinese shops. And if you look at the street name signs, on every corner of the street there is a street name sign. And in this area it's also written in Chinese next to it, or I think it's Chinese because I don't speak or write Chinese. And underneath every street name sign is also the area mentioned where you are. So if you get lost and you look at the street name sign, like here on the left corner, you see Binnenbandhammerstraat, underneath it says Center. Center means when you're in the city center. If you see Oost, O-O-S-T, then you're in East. If you see West, you're in West. If you see Zuid, Z-U-I-D, that's South. And if you see North, the other side of the water, North. Very easy. Be careful when you're crossing. There's no pedestrian crossing, and there might be some bicycles coming from the corner. So we were standing at the flying tower, as I said, on the right, and we're going to the beautiful tower that you see on the left. That's St. Antoni's Gate. It used to be the only surviving city gate we still have. Well, the tower was from 1478, that's from 1488. So we do have some buildings. And Chinatown. And Red Light District. You see, if you looked around here, you see the old center is not very clean. I think if you go to Amsterdam South, where the museums are, that's a lot cleaner. It's also the place where people with the highest income rate live. So yeah, I think it's a little bit more luxury than here. Here, especially in the weekend, you see a lot of groups of people walking, not like us, but boys and girls, stag parties, maiden parties. People who come here for only the weekend for drinking, smoking, and all these things that you do in Amsterdam. So normally cars are not allowed here. You need a permit if you want to drive here with your car. I don't know where this car goes. That's why you have these poles coming out of the ground. You need a remote control to lower them. And then the car goes parking around. So you will see.
I'm right in the middle. Yeah, that stops them from down here.
Last time there was a bicycle behind this truck and she didn't look at these poles coming up.
Oh, yeah.
So they came up and she was right behind it and she was like flying through the air and screaming and shouting at everybody but herself. But she was okay, but she was more ashamed, I think, because everybody was watching and she was flying through the air. So this is the Sea Dike. This was really a no-go area when I lived here in the 80s. It was all drug dealing, prostitutes on the street. And whenever you were walking the streets here, people came up to you, do you want to buy drugs? Do you want to buy drugs?
Yeah.
Nowadays, you know, Amsterdam is familiar for their coffee shops. You will see one and I will point out what the difference is between a coffee shop and a place where you get normal coffee. But in the old days, like 16th century, 17th century, if you look up, you see the houses, some of them have really beautiful top facades. The rich merchants and skippers lived here, but when the canal ring was built, these houses were newer and bigger and had beautiful gardens, so everybody moved out. So this became an area with where lots of sailors used to come. And if sailors are coming to an area, you know what the sailors need when they come into an area. I always call this the BTW area, but BTW is our tax system on goods, 21%. Not funny, but in this case it is funny. The B from beer, the T from tobacco, W, women. So that's the place here, around here. They have a lot of beer, they have tobacco is getting less here, but women they do have. The first alley on the right, you see a camera on the corner. If you look up over there, so that's a police camera. Because in that alley, if you look in the alley, you will see stairs going down with a red light. So those are working places for the ladies. I don't think they're working already, but if you want to take a look, it's okay. I'm not allowed to go with groups of people in the red light district. So you can go there by yourself, but not with me. And if you look at the end of the alley, you will also see windows with red curtains. Yeah, and look at all this. I'm like, wow. Everything here is sex, drugs, and rock. So if you look, there is somebody working. Be careful, you can't make pictures. Then they follow you and they smash your phone or your camera. But we have a documentary on television about the area here, and they tell you how it works. So
Is that on the TV screen? Where it says documentaries in,
no, it's a documentary for everybody like on television.
Right.
And it's about the area. because people were a little bit afraid that it would be too much trafficking going on and everything. But the ladies, if you want to be a prostitute, you have to be over 21. You have to be registered. You pay tax just like anybody else working freelance. You can have medical care if you like. There is a special information center that will help these ladies with their tax, with everything. And inside this alley, on the right hand side, there's an office. So if you want to rent a room, you go to the office, you say, you show your license and everything, and they ask you a few questions, and you can pay, and you get a room every afternoon, evening, or whatever your working space. And after you've paid and after you finish your shift, you bring back the key, they clean the room, and start on your day. So that's the way it goes. And these people are really good in these offices because they really check you. Like, are you forced into this? If they're in doubt, they call the police and they will have questions for you. So it really looks okay in real life if it's like that. But they sometimes trick you, of course. Sometimes they don't.
See, in our state of California, there's drugs. There's drugs legal here.
Yeah, everybody thinks that it's software. Then it's legal.
It's all legal
Yeah.
art.
Yeah, I know, yeah. We used to have all these people coming over here, smoking and drinking. And nowadays, in a lot of countries, it's legal, so they don't have to come here anymore. But I will explain on the corner, we have a coffee shop there. So like I said, in the 80s, this was really was a no-go area. But about 20 years later, the local authorities, they said we have to go clean up this. So they were starting to buy property together with real estate companies, and they put, like the butcher you saw there, they have a bakery, they have nice shops and restaurants here. So at least now it's a lot better than in the 80s. This Buddhist temple is the biggest one of Europe. They built it here in 2000 for the Buddhist community. Like I said, we have all kinds of religions here in Amsterdam, and everybody has their own church or their own religious temple to go to. He saw one of his friends, so the other one is underneath the car there.
Oh yeah.
And they're always walking here. So.
There he goes.
I think they like Chinese food.
Yeah. I think it's the dogs that eat, right? Not the cats. Dutch pancakes. So the pancakes are big here, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't know. Pancakes are very big. You see that everywhere. But I don't know why. We eat pancakes, by the way, here for lunch and for dinner, not for breakfast. And we have the pancakes here are thin, like the crabs. Yes. And at home we eat them with sugar or with syrup. Mm-hmm. I like them with bacon and syrup, so it's salty of the bacon and the sweetness of the syrup. En de ouders of jongen zijn en dan dat is het bed. Dan een beetje vast aan. Ja, ik ben ook niet lang weg. The place on the corner on the right hand side here, the Coffee Joker, it's called. It's a coffee shop. Coffee shop where you buy drugs.
Oh yeah.
That kind of coffee shop. And how do you know? All the coffee shops that sell drugs, they have to have a sticker on the window or the door. A green and white sticker that you see on the left window. If they have this sticker with coffee shop on it, it's a little bit like the TripAdvisor sticker, only different. And it says coffee shop, then they are allowed to sell drugs to you.
Oh.
Marijuana, weed, hashish, I don't know what else. They probably have coffee as well, but be careful if you go in a place like this for coffee. Especially when you don't smoke and you think I want to have a muffin or a piece of cake with my coffee. Because there's something in this cake. We call it space cake. Because after 1 hour you think you're in space. So there is drugs inside. And if you don't know that, you can get really sick if you eat it. And we always say about coffee shops, that's the place where you walk in and you fly out.
Yeah.
Not because of the caffeine, but of something else.
Yeah.
So we nowadays have a coffee shop, but we also have coffee company, Starbucks and all these things. Everything is turning into English. That's why it's so difficult to see the difference between a coffee shop and a coffee company or cafe or whatever. But they have to have this sticker. Sometimes it's hidden among other stickers or you can't really see it, but normally you can smell it when you go in. I don't know if you smelled it already somewhere, but normally people had to smoke inside the coffee shop. They couldn't walk the streets with a joint or with your drugs. But nowadays, since it's not allowed to smoke anywhere anymore, people don't know the rule. They have to smoke the joint inside the coffee shop, but if they want to smoke a cigarette afterwards, they have to go outside. Do you still get it? Now we are crossing the street here and go to this garbage there as well. We do drink tap water here, so if you have a plastic bottle of water, we normally refill it. And we have places like here where there's drinking water. This place used to be an old city gate. But you can imagine when the city expanded more this way, the city gate wasn't needed anymore. There used to be a city wall going to the other place. They didn't want to demolish it, so after city gate it became a weighing house. Because on the square on the other side used to be a market. The goods sold on the market had to be weighed in the weighing house, and that was a way for the city to earn some tax money. So it meant a lot of prosperity for a city if you had a weighing house like this. And on the corners there used to be the guilds. So the masons, the painters, the surgeons, they had their offices there. And I think everybody knows Mr. Rembrandt. Yeah. He came in contact with the surgeon that was having his office here or his guild. And Rembrandt painted the anatomic lesson of Dr. Nicholas Tulip. Maybe you know the painting. This is the painting that he painted here in this big tower here, because that was the surgeon's department. They were cutting open a body here, a body of a criminal though. He was already dead.
Yeah, I hope so.
And they all did it in the winter time, because in the summertime it was smelling terribly.
Yes.
And the funny thing about this is Dr. Nicholas Tulip. His real name wasn't Tulip, but it was the 17th century when a tulip was a favorable product to have, especially the bulbs. And this gentleman said, I'm going to change my name to Mr. Tulip, Dr. Tulip, so I will have more status. I don't know why. If you're going to the Rijksmuseum, you will see the night watch. I don't know if there's any people going to the Rijksmuseum, but you can spend there a week. You don't have that time, and don't do that. If you want to see the old masters, go to the second floor, the Honorary Gallery. Spend there about 1.5 hours, and normally after about 1.5 hours you had enough in your ears. You can't take anything in your brain anymore. So just sit down, have coffee, or go somewhere else, or do another floor. But the Honorary Gallery, the 17th century floor, that's the most nicest thing I think it is. this, but it's a very big museum. So. I don't know.
What are the tiebacks for?
The what?
Okay, in construction we call those a tieback. You
Oh,
got the bar and
the
they
black
go
things,
through,
the
so-
anchors, we call them. Because all these buildings have wooden skeletons,
Okay.
and outside they have a brick wall. Normally they put the anchors at the next floor, so you have beams sticking like this. So they want to hold up the beams. So they put an anchor like here, and it's holding up the beam, and it's holding up the stone
Yeah,
wall.
it just didn't seem very consistent.
No. So sometimes it's holding up the stones against the wooden beams that are behind it, and sometimes it's holding up the next floor. So you see them in a line where the next floor is starting. And you see this is probably the build of the masons, because you see different windows. One is completely closed and it's different shapes, the square, the round, the circle. So all these builds have their also this square has from the past a not so nice experience here, because in the Second World War we had a lot of Jewish people here. Somebody already asked about bombing. Rotterdam was bombed completely, the city center, in 1940 by the Nazis. And the Nazis said, if you don't surrender, we'll do Utrecht and Amsterdam as well. So Rotterdam was physically completely bombed, but Amsterdam not. I always say Amsterdam more got emotionally hit, because the biggest Jewish population lived here in Amsterdam, and everybody knows that more than 80% never returned home. So this is a square where Jewish people had to gather, because it's close by to Central Station. So you see the building behind us. It was all completely covered with wiring. And when we walk that way, I will point out the street where a lot of Jewish people used to live. They've been all taken out of their homes. You see there are certain areas where Jewish were allowed to come. All their privileges were slowly taken away from them. The jobs, the restaurants, the parks. They couldn't do anything anymore. They had to wear the yellow star. And they had to be put on transport, so gathered here, walk to Central Station and go to a concentration camp without knowing that they would never return. So all the houses here were completely empty. So in the street straight ahead, you will see it when I point it out when we're walking there. And the last year of the war, 1944, was the winter of starvation. It was a very cold winter. We were not freed yet by the Allies. And people here, they didn't have food and they didn't have peat or wood for heating. So what did they do? They took the branches of all the trees, but they also went into these houses because they were empty. They took the floors out, they took the window frames out, they took everything out, everything that could burn they needed to get a little bit warm. So you can imagine, after the war, these houses looked really terrible. So after the war, the only thing they could do is demolish the whole thing and put new houses there. So that's what they did. So it's a complete modern apartment buildings there, so it doesn't look very nice. But at least it's been built up again, but that's why you know why it's looking like that. I'm not going into the street straight on, but if you're interested in Second World War museums like the Holocaust Monument, the Resistance Museum, the Jewish Museum, it's all at the end of that street. You have a big square with all these things next to each other or close by. So if you're interested, I always call that more or less the Second World War area, because they tried to put it all together. The Resistance Museum, I think that's really worth going. It's really impressive because they will ask you questions. Would you do this? Would you do that? And there's a lot of people, they can't answer the question because you don't know. We were not in a war thing, not yet. I hope it stays like this, but well, we walk a little bit this way and then make our way through the square. If you're in need of water, around the corner we have a supermarket. So if anybody wants to buy water before we come to the dance square. This old city gate is now a restaurant, very nice restaurant. So if you want to go and have dinner in a beautiful old building, and this place, the square is called Nieuwmarkt, New Market. I'm always stopping here as well because here you see some dancing houses.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this one is better.
So these houses are leaning, and they're also leaning sideways. If you go on a canal cruise, you will see more. So if you hear somebody say dancing houses, then you know what I mean. When they built these houses, on wooden pilings, the pilings have to go as deep as the first sand layer. The first sand layer is 40 feet deep, so they need a lot of pilings and a long one. They're not coming from the Netherlands. This wood just came from Scandinavia, Germany again. And sometimes in these days when they built these houses, they were cheating with the length and the amount the building needs to build something on it. And sometimes they only built one floor and later other floors on top, but the foundation couldn't hold it. So what was happening in a couple of hundred years, then we get that the houses go slightly sideways. Another thing that can happen when the groundwater level drops, that wood starts rotting, can happen as well.
Yeah.
They cannot lift a house up anymore, but they can make a new foundation in the house, with concrete and everything, but the house will stay like this. So put a model on the floor there and it'll definitely go right.
Oh, this house here too. You can see how it's breaking away.
It's going.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you see three houses in a row and they take each other with them, like a domino stones or a cards that you put like that. And sometimes you see only window frames going like that. And I always say, no, you didn't have that.
Yeah.
And you see the top facades, that's a nice thing. You see the step gable of that house, and you see the little windows that I was talking about. The step gable is roughly built. The step gable is roughly built between 1600 1650. And next door you have the bell-shaped gable and the next gable in the corner, and they are built after 1650. And then in the 18th century you get more straight lines, and it's nice that not everybody kept the fashion and the trendy things when they bought the house, so they kept the original facade. Is it okay for them to live in it? Oh yes. Oh, okay. So people are living in those houses, yeah. Mostly it's rented out because it's all floors now. So if there's a house, a canal house for sale, people can hardly afford it. So normally a real estate company will buy it. They make apartments out of it, and they rent them out or they sell them for a high price.
Just can't play marbles. Yeah, would they, I wonder, inside straighten them out, like have the floor raised at one end?
I know my niece is living in one of the houses and they are not straight.
They're not.
And she has a house that's going forward.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're standing in the house, you feel like going over.
Fun house.
They get used to it. They're used to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you try any Dutch food already? On the boat or anywhere, somewhere? How's the sun going? Stroopwafel, yeah, that's typical Dutch. Where do I have the food? Here. I found on Facebook the top 10 of Dutch snacks, and I thought it was very funny. So I have to explain it. I always say you at least have to have 3 things of this. I'll start here, poffertjes. Poffertjes are little fluffy pancakes. We eat it like as a snack at home or lunch. Children love it because it's really small pancakes. We eat it with powdered sugar and a little bit of butter. If you want to buy them here, they probably have it with fruit or with Nutella, with chocolate, I don't know what. We eat a lot of fries, the thick Belgian fries,
They're
not the
good.
French fries, with
Yeah.
mayonnaise. And the mayonnaise I normally have here is the sweet mayonnaise, so it's not sour or anything. And without fries or without mayonnaise, no fries. I don't know if you saw Pulp Fiction, the movie of John Travolta. They're coming here with his friend about diamonds or something, and they're talking about us eating fries. And they said they drowned them in them. And they mean mayonnaise. Croquette. I don't know if you've tasted bitter balls already.
No, what are bitter balls?
Bitter balls and croquettes, it's the same ingredient. It's meat ragu. So it's a beef with vegetables, potatoes, all mixed in a ragu. Make little balls or a shape like this. Breadcrumbs with egg around it. Deep fry them, and then we eat them on a bun with a little bit of mustard. Sorry?
We had that bowl thing last night as an appetizer.
Oh, okay. It's not the meatball, but it's with the ragu inside. Yeah. So we eat that as a lunch. You will see it on the lunch menu, croquette. We have a lot of licorice, black licorice here. Albert Heijn, the Middle House, that's a supermarket chain. You see them everywhere. If you see Albert Heijn, you know they sell licorice. If you don't know what to get, they have hard ones, soft ones, salted, double salted, sweet ones. Be careful, I'm addicted to licorice. So if you start eating with one, you keep on eating. Yogurt, I don't think yogurt should be on here. It's not Dutch. It's milk and cheese. We have a lot of cows. Cheese should be on there. Hagelslag. Chocolate sprinkles.
Oh, yes, yeah.
You put it on your pies or ice cream, I think. We put it on our sandwich. I eat it in the morning. Very healthy. You have breakfast in your hotel and you have these little packages. Like this. Just enough for one sandwich. So you have a sandwich, put a lot of butter on it, then the chocolate, press them in, otherwise if you take a piece it falls off. Sometimes when I'm really hungry I do another layer of butter and chocolate. And that's very nice. Very nice breakfast. Very healthy. The stroopwafel, the cookies, they sell them everywhere here. Sometimes they are a little bit hard. Put them on your cup of coffee or tea. So the steam will warm up the waffle and the syrup melts a little bit. Very nice. Then the bitter balls, the same ingredient as the croquette. We eat this at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon with a beer or a wine. Order a portion of bitter balls and you get these with a little flag and a little bit of mustard. If you're a vegetarian, there are vegan bitter balls as well. Or you can order cheese sticks, melted cheese, deep fried. Nice. Kruidnootjes, gingerbread cookies. We only have them once a year, I'm afraid. 5th of December is the St. Nicholas party. So since September, October, they start selling these. And they are so easy to eat like this as well. You've tasted them?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
But you can't get them now.
No.
Oh, I was going to bring some home.
No.
Oh.
And we have, of course, herring, the Dutch sushi. Raw herring. You get it with a pickle and some onions. Normally people here eat it like this, the traditional way. But sometimes I do a food tour and we have to do it like this, but I don't like herring. So I always ask a volunteer, like anybody wants to do it for the picture and take a bite, and there's always somebody who is brave enough to do that.
The stroopwafels, is there a special device you need to make those? The cookies?
Yeah, it's a special waffle thing, so you can.
Is it different from a
it's-
pizzelle? Like, could you use a pizzelle on it?
No, I don't think so, because it's 2 waffles with the syrup in between. If you want to see how they're made, there is a market in Amsterdam South near the Museum Square, near the museums. The Albert Kuip market is an everyday market from early in the morning, 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And they have several stalls where they make them in front of you. And you can buy small ones, big ones, XL ones, and it smells delicious.
Yeah, we had it at 9 again.
When
The
I go
market.
to a fish shop, because I don't like fish at
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
they
At
have
the market.
herring, they have eel. People eat smoked eel here. But the only thing I like is kibbeling. Everybody knows chicken nuggets, probably. This is like chicken nuggets, but then with fish, with cod, fried cod, with tartar sauce.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. We call it kibbeling. So if you see a fish shop somewhere, they will have kibbeling.
Bowling.
It's Kibbeling, kibbeling, and it's very nice. So there are some nice fishes here as well. We're slowly moving to Dam Square now. Behind here, that's all red light district. Well, no,
It's only 10 to 11.
what is this?
Why are the roofs so steep over here?
The roof's steep because we had a lot of rain and we had a lot of snow and ice in the old days. When I was young, in the 70s, we used to have snow and ice every winter. And now, not anymore. Oh, you see here, this house has the rope and the pulley out.
Oh, yeah.
When they are restoring houses, they always use this. Also, when they have to move furniture, this is the old-fashioned way. Nowadays, they have something else. They have a little truck with a ladder on it, and on the ladder is a little bit of a platform. So the ladder on the platform, one push on the button, the platform goes up. You can put your couch on it, and the platform goes down. So, sorry, man, no strong man needed. But sometimes they still use this to get things up and down. Probably they put these orange bags down or up. You can see the coffee shops.
Yeah, yeah.
So most of the houses, you saw them, they are quite small and tall. Because tax had to be paid on the width of the house. So the bigger, the wider the house, the more tax people had to pay. And you know that people will want to pay that. Now if you look behind this little thing, you see a very wide building on the left. This used to be a house of two brothers. The brothers tripped, they were weapon traders. And their chimneys on top look like mortars. They were very wealthy back then. And they had a lot of stuff. One of their staff members said, I would be happy with a house the size of your front door. You see the green doors over there. And they said, the story goes that they built this house here. This is a very small house. They built this house for one of their staff members. And you say, I don't look here, but look up. Another things here. They are fixing the cave on that side. But you see, it's a very big building and two brothers live there. Now it belongs to the University of Amsterdam. So there are two big universities in Amsterdam. The University of Amsterdam and the Free University. Free University doesn't mean it's free, but it's free from religion. You still have to pay. but not as much as in your country. To go study here, you pay 5,000 euros a year, and the rest, that's all, yeah, and the rest is subsidized by the government. Wow. So it means that a lot of people, although maybe your parents aren't having that much money, you can still go and study if you like.
We pay 80 to 90,000 a year.
So much money. And here people think it's expensive. The students can get a loan here as well. If your parents can't pay it, you can get a loan from the government. And you're not paying it back when you have a job. It's very low interest. So it's every student or loan because they have to go on holiday. They want to sit on terraces and have coffee. So that's what they do nowadays. We go to the right, that's the way to down tomorrow. This is a busy street with lots of shops and restaurants. Some restaurants are nice, some are not so nice.
It's such a demand.
On the square, it's the end of the tour, and there will I point out some nice places for drinks or lunch or bathroom or whatever.
Nice glass of wine.
Yeah, I know the perfect spot for you. Now this is a street, I wouldn't go eat in this street. No. Because sometimes the food has been lying in the window for the whole day.
Oh, yeah.
There are a few shops that are nice, but I think it looks a little bit so-so. My colleague is stopping here because on the left-hand side you see the coat of arms of Amsterdam. It's the entrance of a graveyard. On the left and next door is a smaller house of Amsterdam. So it used to be one floor and then they put the other floors on top. That's why it's going a little bit sideways. It's now a little bit
Is that one apart? Like the three floor?
Yeah, I think, or it belongs to the shop, or I don't know, somebody else living there because you don't want any other people going to your shop. It's probably from the owner myself. Also, next door you see the coat of arms with the three crosses. When you see anything with three crosses, I know it has a different meaning in the States sometimes, but here it doesn't mean red light district. It's the coat of arms of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
The three crosses, they say, were in the family coat of arms of the first mayor of Amsterdam. And other people say the three crosses and the three colors stand for the three plagues of Amsterdam. It's red, black and white. Red is from the city fires, white is from the flooding, and black is from the Black Death, the plague. But we don't really know how Amsterdam came to these colors, but at least now when you see a truck with the three crosses, it's local authorities. If you look on the lid of the house, you see three crosses. Amsterdam accused the people on the side. If we would turn right, it's going to the red light district. company, this is really the place to get coffee.
Holiday after
You
that.
need to have a permit of 200 euros. So, these things look nice here in the bakery. But most of them aren't even Dutch, because the waffles is from Belgium, the macarons is from France, the churros is Spanish. I don't see what any Snickers or Oreos are doing on these cookies.
Yeah, really.
And here you see the same. It's been lying here the whole day.
Yeah.
Normally you think it would be fake, but it's the same building. Oh wow. We have a pizza place a little bit further and these pizza slices are like I don't know why we have that. I heard from some people from the States that they buy them when people are on a Jeep and put them on the dashboard. But here, I don't know why people have it. So.
Sì,
I see hot dogs, and hot dog is not fish.
No, I know.
So we're slowly coming to Dam Square and you see it's getting busier and busier. We go right again, red light district. The quiet part of the red light district are less violent, less but it's just nice to walk through the red light district and go on to your life. It's not dangerous at all.
Just to see it.
They have ducks in like in every shape and size and all the public figures and everybody. If you want to buy a very Dutch souvenir, you should buy a birthday calendar. I don't know if you know the thing about birthday calendars here, but we don't have the days on them and not the year. So they last forever. It's only the 1st of March, 2nd of March, without days, without years. So you can keep them.
Good
My
idea.
sister told me, because everybody in Holland we have one, she says you have to write the boyfriends and girlfriends of your children with pencil so you can wipe them out.
That's right.
If it's over.
Yeah.
And there is one place where we hang this in the Netherlands. Be careful here. We hang it in the bathroom because you come there every day. When while you sit there, you can see who's having the birthday and can send a text message or anything to them.
Yeah.
The bakery is one of the places that's nice. Yeah.
Oh, and the fries.
The fries. Yeah.
Oh, you remember that, eh?
Oh, yeah. I gotta go here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have all my breakfast ones here.
Yes. I remember.
Rene's croissant, yeah. Yeah, you remember that. I think it was in the rain when we were here. That's why you remember. Holding the umbrella and trying to eat that.
So you can see it's not a very clean city. sometimes we as guys, we make complaints to the local authorities. I know. But we tell them like, when are you going to clean it up? Because this is they're not very fond of tourists. Young people, they don't care about it because they,
Hallo meneer. Hallo meneer.
Baby.
I know the big cruise ships, they are trying to let them go to Rotterdam instead of Amsterdam. And the river cruise ships are almost half. So they let a lot of people go to Amsterdam or to even where I live in Hoorn or other places. And then if you have a tour in Amsterdam, you have to go here by bus. And then all these buses have to come here. I know.
Yeah, a bit of a backlash around the world about too many tourists in Paris and
But
Amsterdam.
not as awful as in Barcelona when they were having these water guns. And they were shooting with water to all the people in Barcelona. But it was on television, so I hope it didn't ring any bells for all the people here that they would take.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are rebuilding quite a lot. So this will be the end of the tour. This is where Amsterdam started. In 1935, they made a dam in the river the Amstel. The Amstel used to go where the tram is going, and to the street all the way to where Central Station is. That's underground. And in the 17th century, they built that big building. It was big city hall. It was not built to be a palace. In the 17th century, Amsterdam was one of the richest cities in the world, and they wanted to show off with the biggest public building in the world. And back then they succeeded, they had the biggest public building. Next door you will see a church, or it was a church. It's now the World Photo Exhibition is there. You can climb on top because they are restoring the whole thing. Need some exercise. Standing on top over there, so you will have a very nice view, but it will cost some energy. If you're looking for a nice place for a drink, for lunch, for whatever, the New Church Cafe, it's on the bottom side of the church. It has these brown beige umbrellas. So just go to the right hand side entrance of the cafe. I think that's a very nice place to sit. They have very good food and drinks. Not too overpriced. This is a nice place here, but I think it's overpriced. So, and the food in the place over there was a little bit so I'm going to take it. If you don't want to stay around here, or you need to go somewhere else, you can ask me where to go, what to do. I can point out on your map where we are and everything. Which direction is the hotel is the direction.
Where's Grand Station?
Central Station is the first street on the right here, next to the Viking. Keep on going straight. You'll end up at the water side finally. Don't cross the water, but turn right and you see your hotel already lying there. Okay, just go that way. You don't have to walk around with your quiet foxes the whole day, but you can keep your earpieces. They're not recycling your earpieces. You can only give me back your quiet fox and I will take them back for you. And everybody, thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you. Enjoy your stay here in Amsterdam or enjoy your travels back home. Safe travels back home. Thank you very much. Just want these? Yeah, just put them around my arm and that's okay. Put them in a bag and you can just throw them away, keep them or do whatever you like with them. Very much so.
Yeah, she was very good.
That sounds good and be back.
from here to the Van Gogh, it's about 45 minutes.
Thank you very much.
That's another way to get there. And there's another way to go with